Hey y'all, it's Brody, and today I'm here to bring you day 2 of my October Spooktacular. So today, as you can see by the title of this video and the thumbnail, I will be doing the horror movie book tag. This was created by Royal Reads. I originally saw it on my friend Alicia's channel, so I will leave both of them linked up and down there for go check them out. Question number 1, the zombie apocalypse. What's a book that you would save when civilization ends? And this was kind of hard because there are a lot of books that I want to keep, but I was thinking about which one I could read that would make me feel the most hopeful and the most comforted. So for that, I'm gonna say A Lot Sway by Darcy Little Badger. That's just my interpretation of the prompt. This is a native YA book about an asexual Apache girl who can raise spirits of the dead. It's just hopeful and queer and beautiful and perfect, and I loved it. Next we have The Vampire, and for this, it's a book that you would stake through the heart, and y'all, there are so many options. I'm gonna say Final Girls by Riley Sager. I just finished this one at the time of filming, and I'm not about it. I'm not a fan of it. There were things that I thought were redeeming, but overall, I think I would just take this stake and just like, bam, right there in the center, just not a fan. Next we have The Haunted House, and for this, it's a book that still haunts you. I'm gonna go with The Merciless by Daniel Vega. I read this originally in, when did this come out? 2014, 2015? I think it was 2014, and I read it in 2015. And this is about a group of girls who decided they are going to do an exorcism on this girl in their class, and it gets so graphic and so gory and so disgusting. This was like the first time that I had ever read something that graphic in a young adult novel. Obviously, like, I'd read adult horror books before, so it was like not uncommon for me to read gory things, but reading it in like a book from the teen section of Books A Million freaked me the fuck out. I was like, oh wow, like they're shoving things under her fingernails and like throwing each other off the roof. I wouldn't say I think about this book every day, but like once a week this book crosses my mind and I'm just like, whoa. Next is a psychological thriller, which is a book with a twist that you didn't see coming. I'm not going to tell you what the twist is, but I'm just going to hold up the book and talk briefly about why I was surprised. A Song Below Water by Bethany Seymour. The twist reveal situation that happened at the climax of this book took me completely by surprise, and just this book made me want to do a whole video on like climaxes that I love, and it was so good. Similar to A Lot Sway, and the fact that like society knows that creatures exist, right? So like everyone knows about sirens and gargoyles and the creatures that exist in this book. You have social commentary. I really love this book. I thought it was very well done. But like I said, the twists were what got me. Next we have The Creepy Doll, a book that seems innocent but isn't. Earthlings by Sayaka Murata. This cover is like the most adorable thing on my shelf. It's a cute little hedgehog. The synopsis, like the blurbs in here, do not give you a sense of what the fuck is going to be happening in this book. It doesn't say anything about the incest. It doesn't say anything about the cannibalism. It doesn't say anything about the self-mutilation, the pedophilia, the grooming, the rape, anything. It doesn't say anything about that. Looking at this book, you think, oh, this is like a cute science fiction novel, and it's not. I think this book felt like I was on drugs. Like, it felt like I was having a very bad trip. Cute, innocent cover. Then we have The Monster, a book you could barely tackle or defeat. So a book that was hard for you to finish reading for whatever reason. For me, I'm gonna say Jaws by Peter Benchley. Once again, I've talked about this a bit on my channel. Jaws, the film, is my favorite film of all time. It is what made me fall in love with horror. It's what made me fall in love with sharks and marine biology. However, the book is flaming hot garbage. It broke my heart with how problematic the contents of the book were. The racism, just the random slurs that were thrown in for no good reason, the fact that all of the characters were fucking terrible people and I wanted all of them to get killed. I could not root for any of the characters in this book. I thought it was bad. It's terrible. I gave it 2 stars. It was so disappointing, and the reason it took me so long to get through, it was so hard to get through, was because the film changed my life. Without Jaws, I would not be like the horror person I am today. I would not appreciate the genre. I genuinely believe that. So from having something that was so key to me as a child, going to this was just, it broke my heart. We have comedy horror, and for this, it's a book with mixed genres that either worked for you or didn't work for you. For that, and this is hard, y'all. I promised myself I would only talk about one Stephen Graham Jones book in this video. I was gonna limit myself to one. So I decided to go with Mongrels by Stephen Graham Jones for this question. This one mixes horror, like specifically werewolf horror, with like contemporary coming of age, and I thought it worked really well. I love the metaphor that was there for lycanthropy and puberty. I just thought it was very well done. Stephen Graham Jones is like masterclass, top notch, my favorite author of all time. Next, the cliched teen horror, and this is a book that you found to be cliched or stereotypical. Look no further, my friends, than The Silent Patient by Alex Michaelides. This book is a pile of flaming garbage. I don't know why I haven't unhauled it yet. I keep it around solely for the sake of talking shit about it in videos. This one is a psychological thriller about a woman in an asylum and a doctor who's trying to figure out why she murdered her husband. Half of it's told in diary entries. The side characters in this are fucking terrible. I had a whole rant review ready to go for this one, and it was just watching the footage back made me so mad. It's fucking terrible. Don't believe the hype. I thought it was garbage. Like, I would give it 0 stars if I could, but I think I ended up giving it like a 2. Then we have Demonic Possession, a book that gripped you so hard you needed an exorcist to escape it. For that, I'm gonna go with Mexican Gothic by Silvia Moreno Garcia. Y'all, this is a masterpiece of a book. This follows a woman named Noemi who is going to visit her cousin because her cousin's married into a wealthy family, and some shit's going down. So she gets a letter, she goes to visit to see what's up. And this book... writing in this, it's so atmospheric. Noemi is such a cool character. Everything just like sucked me in and put me so deep into this haunted house, this horrific environment with all of these terrible people. I only stopped reading this to sleep for work. Had I not had to work that day, I would have read this in one single sitting. Finally, we have science fiction, and this is a precious book that you would sacrifice to the aliens for the good of mankind. And clearly, like, I'm not a garbage person. I could sacrifice any book for the good of mankind. Like, any book on my shelf, if it was one book or the whole of mankind, I could get rid of one book. That's all I have for you today. If you enjoyed this video, give it a thumbs up and subscribe so you can watch the rest of my October content. It's gonna be a video a day. This is day number 2. And while you're doing all of that, why don't you answer the comment question of the day? It's gonna be, what book would you stake through the heart? I want to know that. Let me know which book you hated enough that you would just, right there. If you don't have time, you don't have the spoons, you don't want to answer, whatever your reason is, leave me an emoji, preferably a yellow heart, so I know you made it all the way until the end of the video, and if you are on a keyboard, then leave me a smiley face emoticon. If you click on the link tree at the top of my description, you can find me on other places around the internet, so my Instagram, my Goodreads, and my Twitter, as well as places to support me further outside of YouTube if you so choose, like my PayPal, my Coffee, or my Amazon wishlist. Alright, I hope you have a wonderful, whatever it is, wherever you are. I will see you tomorrow with another video. Thank you for watching. Okay, cool. Bye. Did you see I am a camp counselor today?